Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover, and let's talk football.
We're reviewing the South Carolina VOTECH game. Great game.
Yep.
Super excited to watch the progression of Lenore Sellers this year and what South Carolina was going to look at. What's your first takeaway?
These teams looked very similar to me for most of this game.
Really?
You didn't really? You didn't think so?
No, keep going. You're
all right. Well, okay.
Saying
So
your wrong opinion.
Oh boy, we're going to start off like this, are we? Okay. So both QBs are physically similar, just big dudes, big arms, can run, that sort of thing. Now, and they're also similar in they're kind of limited with the passing attack on these two teams.
Yeah.
And also both teams have some dudes up front in the front seven on defense. There's some horsepower on both of these teams.
Yeah.
And there was both defensive lines were pretty disruptive, and there's just some impressive athletes on the field. These are my just high level notes.
Yep.
And so my takeaway from that was, okay, so there's going to be some NFL defensive talent coming out of both of these teams for sure. I mean, we know that with Dylan Stewart, but that linebacker on South Carolina, Johnson, holy shit, yeah. Johnson, I think it is. Mm-hmm. There's some players, both teams. There's some players on both of these teams. So they kind of looked similar to each other. They both. I mean, the total yards was very similar. Passing yards was similar. Rushing yards, everything was really similar here. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I mean, in the end, to me, it was Virginia Tech turned the ball over twice, and South Carolina didn't, and that was kind of a major difference in this game. I mean, there was a few other things, but that's the super high level takeaway. What did you think?
Yeah, it was Johnson 10 solo tackles for leading the whole most tackles in the whole game.
He's
for
big and he's fast.
Yeah, and 6 solo too, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't get the same. I agree with you with the trenches, with the offensive line and defensive line, and also the big picture takeaway. My big concern going into this year with how many people South Carolina lost on defense, and that defense looked great. So that was, again, it's against VOTECH, but they looked really good physically, speed-wise.
Well, hold on. Let's give VOTECH some credit there. That team has talent. It's not like it's an FCS team or something.
No, it does. But it was like the quarterback went 15 for 35 with two interceptions, right?
Yes,
so that's not where Sellers went 12 for 19. We talked about this on the last pod for our Saturday review. Go back and listen to it if you haven't. But he was 12 for 19 for 209 yards and a touchdown. That's very efficient. Now, there's other things I was concerned about with Lenore. So we said going into this game, we wanted to see a progression from him in terms of like getting the ball out, and that did not happen. So I'm concerned about that. He's looked like this potential for every time I've seen him play, and it hasn't advanced, and that's the only thing that I'm a little nervous about. He kind of, this is a terrible comparison. This is one of my notes here. Kind of reminds me of Anthony Richardson.
I was just going to say that.
I know, because he's physically so gifted. But there's times where like you just can't complete like a 10-yard pass, and it's super frustrating because like. And
I don't even think he's not as bad as Richardson is with just lack of accuracy in the intermediate and short stuff. I just don't think he gets through any progressions.
Yeah, it's really tough. But again, like very efficient. This score was bigger, like 24-11 seems bigger than it was because 7 points came from special teams, right?
So awesome play, by the way.
It was an amazing play, but it was, that's closer to 17-11, right? Which is sort of, but anyway, listen, Lenore's didn't turn the ball over. That was the key thing, because VOTECH had 2 turnovers, South Carolina didn't, and that, that's going to help you win.
Yeah, and so he's you said it perfectly. He's still in this state of a potential quarterback, but right now he is a college quarterback. He's not an NFL. Like they're talking about him being one of the top prospects. No way. When you actually break down the film. Now, also, I was rewatching multiple plays here. His pass protection's terrible, just absolutely terrible. That offensive line has not improved. Sellers gets out of a lot of trouble that the offensive line puts him in.
Yes.
And he's just such a total freak show. Like some of those runs, he's dead to rights. He's getting sacked here, and then he's 10 yards downfield. Yeah. And it never looks like it should work. Like he shouldn't get out of the trouble he gets they put him in, because I don't think he's necessarily. I'll say I still don't know if he's can play QB at an NFL level and do like QB stuff, like get through a couple of reads, find the backside in when the front side stuff's not there, like stuff you expect, an NFL team expects you to be able to do to play at the next level. Stuff like, we'll talk about it soon. Carson Beck can do it. Garrett Nussmeier can do it. Like the quarterbacks can do it. This guy is a freak show athlete beyond all of them. Yeah. But his offensive line, it was bad. There was some plays where I remember specifically watching a linebacker come right through the middle and sack him, and he had zero time. And they only had three. Virginia Tech only had 3 down linemen, and South Carolina had 5. They didn't have any extra. Their back or tight end. Nobody else was in protecting, right? So you have 3 down linemen, five linemen blocking. Center was 1-on-1. Guard and tackle double teamed on the end. Guard and tackle double teamed on the other end. And 1 linebacker blitzes. So you're just sending 4.
Yeah, that should be picked up.
It should be picked up. He comes right up the A gap. Neither guard, that's the guard's responsibility to break off the double team because he's the closest man. Neither guard notices at all. They just stay on their double team, and Sellers just gets sacked, and that's that. And it's you have the numbers advantage, and you still can't stop it. Yeah. And this is just constantly happening because this sounds wrong, but Virginia Tech had 7 TFLs and 4 sacks, and that the Gamecocks only had two sacks, maybe 4 TFLs. So even though South Carolina's defense looks really strong, Virginia Tech was all over him, and I think it's just part of the weakness of this offensive line. They just can't pass protect. I mean, run blocking, they ran enough, but to me the problem on this team, South Carolina, even though they won the game and they held them to 11 points, it's still the offensive line, and that to me is also going to hold back Sellers' development. I don't think he should come. I'm jumping way to conclusions here. I don't think he should come out of the draft this year because he's just not. If this is what it's going to look like, and he's got to run for his life and complete 10, 12 passes a game. Yeah. Now he threw that beautiful bomb to Harbor, and Harbor's a machine.
Great.
That is not 17. Okay, so 24. One of it's a special team score. 17 points ain't getting it done. Like you're not putting enough on film for anyone to trust you here. So your Richardson analogy is. Comparison, I think, is bang on. He just needs more playing time. He needs to. That line's got to start improving so he can sit in the pocket, work his way through some progressions, and not just be one read and get out of there.
Right. Yeah. No, that was when looking at it, my initial thought was like, oh, VOTECH's defense is like better than I thought, or the defensive line's better than I thought. But I think you're right. It's more. I don't think it was. He was protected properly as opposed to like just being beat up front or like being beaten by like someone who's stronger or faster. You know what I mean? So that's
let me stop you right there. VOTECH has dudes. Like you still have to have a dude, but when you watch the film, and because I remember watching a lot of South Carolina's offensive line, like just rewatching it, the line's very weak. It's just weak, and it's still weak. So to me, that's where the major progression has to happen here is that line has got to get its act together.
Yeah. And I just think that back to what we talked about on the Saturday review, where imagine if we had like either Jackson Arnold and his offensive coordinator or Tommy Castellanos and his offensive coordinator and Sellers, right? Like that type of thing where it's like one read and run. That seems like that would work great in this scenario, but it feels like he's either holds on to the ball too long, which is like, why didn't you, like he's waiting for something to come open or develop or has trouble going through the progressions. I'm not sure, but if it was just like throw the ball, if it's there and then if not run, like I think it would look way better because he's physically more gifted than Arnold or Castellanos, I think.
Than anyone. He's the most gifted probably QB in the whole country as far as just pure physical talent. Yeah.
So I'm just not sure what they're trying to get across there on offense. But I think you're right about the offensive line. I think that they ran just enough. Like, Attaway and Faison looked like good, but it was they didn't exactly have a lot of room to run. So
no.
But no, and I think that again, it was a pretty good environment. I think that's something you've talked about before too, about whether if it's at South Carolina or at VOTECH, you'd prefer. But it was the environment in Atlanta, I think, was pretty good. So I thought that was that.
Well, it wasn't bad. I was showing Dina some some of the traditions in football, like the Clemson running down the hill, or just different things that different schools do, jump around at up in Wisconsin. And then I showed her Enter Sandman at Virginia Tech, and she's like, "Oh, okay, so that's now my favorite team because Metallica is her favorite." Like her favorite heavy metal band.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's it? She's like, oh yeah, obviously they're the best now because of that. So so when this game happened, she's like, oh, is it in Virginia Tech? And I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, that sucks. I think I missed the beginning though. I think they still did the Enter Sandman song, I guess,
I was
on the way
skipping a lot
in.
through the beginning.
Yeah,
so.
I just zipped right through to the start of the game. And so I guess the announcers mentioned it. She's like, oh, we missed that. So anyways, it's just funny that's how she picks like teams to adopt is they're just the song. But anyways,
in terms of South Carolina going forward, they got South Carolina State coming up next. So I feel like hopefully they can, fix what they can on the offensive line or maybe some of the progression stuff. They host Vandy, which is not going to be a nothing game. And then at Mizzou, and then they've got a tough stretch with Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M and stuff. So it's going to be a tough schedule for them. But listen, any team, their defense was better than I think people thought, and so that's going to make between the defense and Sellers being an X factor, that's still going to be a problem for these upcoming teams.
Well, what'd they say? Three of their defensive line starters are in the NFL, 3 or 4. I mean, there's a lot of that team. Iman Wari, there's star safeties in the NFL. Like a lot of players ended up in the NFL, like a Demetrius Knight, so a linebacker. So all levels of their defense sent people to the NFL, multiple people, and they're all on the 53-man roster as of recording. So there was a ton of talent that left, to your point. And the broadcasters even said, we don't know what this was going to look like. And they said it might actually be more pure talent. Like the actual physical gifts of the players that have replaced the NFL players might be even more freakish. I mean, Johnson for sure, that linebacker.
Yeah, he looks great.
Attention to that guy.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's do the what can we say about both these teams? To your point, South Carolina, it's kind of more of the same, and you won 9 games. Okay, how about this? It's more of the same, and you won 9 games last year like this, and could have beat LSU and could have beat Alabama. This could have been an 11-win team, even if they just look like that again. Which they kind of that's just what they sort of look like again here, right? That defense looks like it just straight up reloaded. And
if you're a South Carolina fan, you're happy about the defense because that was the question coming into this one. So they're better at that. You're happy to have Sellers because he is an absolute freak of nature. Like there was one of the plays where they had him dead to rights. He scrambled out. He was going to be way short of the first down, and then somehow turned it up a gear and sort of tiptoed along the sideline, and no one punched. Like that is no one else I think in college can make that play. So like that, not that I know of. And so
it's hard to think of someone who can.
No, and so like that is
just him.
So that's what it's going to be like to be a South Carolina fan. You're going to have the unbelievable highs of when he throws a 64-yard pass, and it looks like he's putting in about 8 yards of effort in terms of throwing it. It just flies off his arm, and then scrambling like that with big and fast is unbelievable. And then you're going to have the lows of like a couple 3 and outs. Can't complete, just trying to can't go through a progression or something. I don't know what it is, but it's
five offensive linemen letting a 4-man pass rush just walk right through the A gap. So you're going to take the good with the bad. I think South Carolina fans kind of know what they have here. It could be, but the talent is so through the roof. I think this could be a Anthony Richardson thing, but maybe NFL GMs have noticed that. Oh, maybe let's this guy have another start. Let's have him have 40 or 50 college starts, like Dylan Gabriel or Bo Nix, like these guys who they played a lot, then they got to the NFL and especially Bo Nix doesn't look all that raw. He's just got so many starts. Gabriel looks good in the preseason anyways. Just players that had a lot of college starts, not this 13 starts with Richardson.
The experience is a lot, and what every coach will tell you that one of the most important things of the quarterback is the decision making. And that was the part that we haven't seen really progress, because that's when you hold on the ball too long, or when you scramble, or when you don't scramble, like those are quick decisions that you need to make. And the right decision, and it just doesn't seem like it's been happening. But like to your points, what can we say about VOTECH? I think you called it perfectly at the beginning. They've got some dudes. You know,
they have
like
some dudes.
But VOTECH, you're at this day and age, the transfer portal, like VOTECH is the type of team where you'd lose a lot of people, potentially to transfer portal stuff. So you've got some playmakers on both sides of the ball. I think you have a quarterback that's not afraid to chuck it. And so, just hope that can improve a little bit. Some of the timing stuff might get a bit better, but they're not going to be playing South Carolina type defense for the most of their, season.
The rest of their season.
Yeah. So
I mean, they've got some. The future is still all in front of them. Obviously, this is an out of conference game, so VOTECH hasn't eliminated them, obviously, by any means for being in contention in the ACC. It was a good test against a team that's got a lot of talent. So VOTECH fans, okay, so that's what it looks like when you go up against an SEC team that was kind of reloading.
Yeah. Well, and it's
and you held them to 17 offensive points. That one,
yes.
I never consider a special team score. Okay, somebody missed a block somewhere. That's just so rare. So you really held them to 17 points.
Yeah, absolutely. So
you can hang your hat on that too.
No, for sure. And it's VOTECH playing next week. Vandy, back-to-back SEC teams for VOTECH to start the season. So that's got similar DNA, really, Vandy, right? Like tough defense, quarterback who can run and
quarterback
throw.
Who just it's all about how the quarterback manages the game. So you know what? This is actually a good tune-up for a Vandy game.
It's a great
Imagine
tune-up.
that, eh? Talking about tuning up for a Vandy game.
Well, and
Vandy got him last year.
Yeah, and I think that Dean will be happy to know that it's Vandy at VOTECH, I think, next week. So then you'll be able to see that. Pretty sure.
Let's see. Yep. So she gets to see the Enter Sandman entrance, and then she'll actually
Lane Stadium.
But now she's conflicted because she watched the SEC documentary and she likes the Vandy coach.
Oh yeah, well,
and
he is good.
She knows somebody who played with him.
Wow, really?
When they were, I think maybe in high school, not in college, but maybe in high school. So now she's conflicted. She's gonna maybe cheer for VOTECH during the entrance, and then maybe secretly cheer for Vandy after. I don't know.
Liz still has her University of Miami turnover chain T-shirt, so that'll be up. That's more relevant for our next pod.
For our next pod. All right. So I mean, it's kind of what I expected. I figured it was going to be relatively close. I figured South Carolina was going to have the edge. I didn't expect it to be a special teams touchdown to be involved.
Yeah, I thought that South Carolina's defense wasn't going to be as good as it was. And I thought their offense was going to be a bit better. So it's a little, but again,
a little bit of a mixed bag there.
Yeah, but good team, and it's just you're going to be on a roller coaster if you're a Gamecocks fan.
Yep. All right, I think that's a good place to leave it.
Yep.
All right, so stick around. We're going to cover the Miami and Notre Dame game in our next video, and we're also going to do our NFL Week 1 preview, because here at Saturday versus Sunday we cover both college and the NFL. Not a lot of channels bother covering both, but that's the whole concept here.
The average football fan watches football on Saturday and Sunday.
That's right. And we're talking about it from the fans' perspective. And with that said, if you're still here with us, we'd super appreciate if you maybe give us a like and or subscribe. We know we're small. We're just starting out. This is our second year, so we totally appreciate you being here. All right, so for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barban, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.